It's still a surprise to some that there is a ski resort just outside of Las Vegas, but Lee Canyon has been a local's favorite for decades. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, we get the inside scoop from Johnny DeGeorge. He's the marketing coordinator for the recently renovated Mountain Getaway on how to make the most of the season for snow at Lee Canyon. It's Thursday, October 23rd. I'm Dayvid Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Johnny, I guess we should start with the basics. What is the best way to get to Lee Canyon this time of year?
Yeah, David, we've got two options. Both start out with going north of town, up on Highway 95. As soon as you leave town, you get that feeling of peace that comes over you, out of the concrete jungle into the high desert.
I'm still riding with a little bit of anxiety, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like it's drifting away the further out from the city you get.
Yeah, minute by minute, things transform and it just becomes more of a wild environment.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say two options, I mean, two different state routes. We've got Highway 156 or Lee Canyon Road, and that's the classic desert floor to alpine. You get to climb over 6,000 feet, really subtle grade uphill. And it's so cool, David. You just get to go through all these different ecosystems and climate zones. Really unique thing, with our Sky Island that we have up there in the Spring Mountains.
It happens fast and your ears tell the tale right when you know you're getting at that peak.
Yep. Or your water bottle deflating if you're driving downhill.
Yeah. You said Sky Island. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm definitely no biologist, but it's a term that describes exactly like it sounds. Think of an island coming out of the ocean with its own ecosystem different than the ocean itself.
Sure.
That's kind of what we have in our backyard. So we have this protruding island sticking up out of the Mojave Desert, and it's its own ecosystem, its own world.
Yeah, animals and plants evolving in their own unique ways, I'm imagining.
Exactly. 4 seasons, or real 4 seasons. Unlike what we experience in Vegas.
Yeah.
So, beautiful spring, summer, fall, and white winters full of snow. So something a little bit different than what we see every day down here in the valley. Yet it's only down the street.
Right. So you could look for the clearly marked Lee Canyon exit, basically, or what's the second way in?
Yeah, the other option is taking the route up to Mount Charleston. Kyle Canyon, it's called. Mm-hmm. So you could take that route up into the mountains and then take a connector highway across into the Lee Canyon side. So both are amazing drives.
Yeah, and a little bit different, which is cool. And I know this probably sounds silly to you, but, we're an ever-growing city. So for the newbies of Vegas, what is the difference between Mount Charleston and Lee Canyon?
Right, so they're basically two different locations in the Spring Mountain Range. Mount Charleston describes a little town full of full-time residences, a hotel, a school, so a small community up in the mountains. Lee Canyon, which is just about 13 miles away, a separate community, so also full of a few residents, and that is where the ski resort is. So that's where we operate and run a year-round program.
So tell me about the people who kind of live in Lee Canyon and I guess folks that work at or near the resort. What do they do for fun? Yeah,
I think anyone who lives up in Lee Canyon is probably on the same page where, outdoor recreation sort of leads their life. That's probably the main attraction for living in that area.
Yeah, they're not fast-talking, high-anxiety guys like you? Just joking. You're so chill, man. I love everything about talking with you right now. It makes me want to go up to the mountain right now.
I would recommend it. I think it might
I'm stuck in the valley.
Well, it's not so bad here either. But luckily, it's not a big mission to get up there. It's a short drive and play a few of your favorite songs, and next thing you know, you're up at 8,000 feet.
Even going slow, tops, it's an hour drive, right?
Yeah, if you're coming from, somewhere south like Henderson, you're looking at about an hour.
Right.
But if you live in the southwest, northwest, it can be a lot quicker to get up there.
Yeah, lickety split. So tell me some of the things that you're going to offer during ski season, which I understand starts November 21st.
That's right. We are 1 month away, so the countdown is on. Ski season is, many of the locals' favorite time of year at Lee Canyon. We operate 7 days a week. We're spinning chairlifts. We've got skiing, snowboarding, and a whole bunch of fun events and contests and things for all the local community to be a part of. Live music, contests, and just the day-to-day fun that you have riding chairs.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Is it hard keeping the area up there clean? I know that not everybody are, thoughtful about picking up after they're up there, like riding on those plastic sleds that seem to break pretty easily, and they just they leave a trace, let's say. So how much of a challenge is that?
Yeah, that's pretty universal in any mountain community in America. But of course, we encourage people to leave no trace. So pack your trash out. Whatever you bring in should leave with you. A simple rule of thumb to follow. So luckily, it's not too bad. But like any mountain town, those challenges exist. And we just do our best to try and pick up anything we see along the way and be stewards of the community.
I don't want to miss this because it's one of the kind of fun facts about Lee Canyon. But, we're here at the end of October. I understand something special happens on November 1st. Maybe you could tell me about that.
Yeah, we're looking at something new that we're bringing to the community on November 1st. And we're super excited for it. We call it Uller Fest, which is a pretty common thing that you'll see in various mountain towns and ski resort communities. And what it is basically a preseason celebration, an opportunity for a party, really, as Las Vegas seems to enjoy.
We do. Yeah.
And we found that out. It's no different at Lee Canyon. So an opportunity to welcome winter and connect with all the snow community that maybe we only see during those winter months and become our best friends for 6 months of the year.
Where did the name Uller come from? Is it like a old school woo-woo, or is it something you guys came up with?
Definitely not something we came up with.
All right.
I think it's more in the old school woo-woo category, but I think it refers to an old Nordic figure related to winter. And I'm sure there's lots of old tradition behind it that I'm not even aware of, but that's where the name came from.
And what sort of traditions or ways does Lee Canyon put its spin on Uller?
We like to have a good time at Lee Canyon. We like to have a fun party, and, we'll have a nice big fire pit down in the lower dirt lot, kind of have an open format space where people can socialize, take advantage of roasting s'mores by the fire pit, having nice cold beers, just enjoying the cooler temperatures and really feeling out winter coming along.
Here's the pressing question. Pro drum circle, anti drum circle.
I'd like to say anything goes, which maybe I shouldn't say on air, but we're going to say it anyways.
All right. So full nudity and people banging on drums and whatever else they got handy. Yeah.
Let's say full Vegas edition with the conscious family-friendly element. So
fair.
Within reason.
Fair. All right. So let's say someone's inspired now to go up for winter season. What's the best way for people to prep for a visit to Lee Canyon? Any helpful do's or don'ts as people get ready to head up to the mountain?
Absolutely. Yeah, I just spent some time revamping our website's pages about winter prep, so it's fresh on my brain.
All right. We'll definitely direct people there. But yeah, where's some highlights?
Yeah, there's a couple different things to consider. Transportation is one. So during the winter months, it's really good to be aware of the road conditions. So if it's actively snowing or recently snowed, consider that chains might be required or a four-wheel drive with good tires. So safety and transportation is important. When we get into winter and we have snow events, any vehicle that's two-wheel drive definitely should have chains on board and be prepared and know how to put them on. I recommend doing it at home. Hit your driveway or in front of your house, practice before you get up there.
Yeah.
And then for four-wheel drive, chains are still suggested to have on board, but as long as you have good snow-rated tires, that should be sufficient in most cases. For those who've never been up there before and want to try skiing, getting that rental reserved ahead of time just to ensure availability, pop in a lesson reservation, a lot of ways for someone to get broken into it from scratch. And we have everything, ready to go.
What about like gear? Are pets welcome? Give me the full deet.
Yeah. With gear, rental gear is available, but we also have a nice shop on site. So if you need some winter gear, some beanies, some gloves, those items can be purchased up there. And pets, we are definitely a pet-friendly resort. All of our outdoor spaces allow dogs. As long as they're on a leash and they're well behaved, they're certainly invited.
Yeah, I did bring my pup up there on leash during summer months because
Nice.
I'm not sure how he would react to the snow because he is definitely a desert dog. Hey, Las Vegas, ever look for a sign of what to do? Well, here's one, literally. The Neon Museum is offering a limited time deal just for Nevada residents. 50% off admission to one of the most iconic must-see spots in the city. That's right, half off to explore Vegas history through the glow of vintage neon signs. Just swing by the box office, show your Nevada ID, and you're in. No promo codes, no online hoops to jump through, just a classic local appreciation deal. Make it a night with friends, bring visiting family, or finally check it off your Vegas bucket list. Visit the Neon Museum and let the lights of old Vegas shine for you. Now, this dazzling deal won't last forever, so grab your tickets now and experience the glow before it's gone. Again, to apply the discount, just bring your Nevada State ID card to the Neon Museum and purchase your ticket at the door. To learn more, visit neonmuseum.org. One ticket per valid ID. Expect a haunting good time at the 12th annual Halloween at the Magical Forest. Admission includes rides, the Magical Forest Cemetery Walk, the Forest Express train, nightly entertainment, and trick-or-treat stations. So make a night of it and enjoy dinner at one of the many food outlets, including a beer garden, open select nights for the 21 and over crowd. As one of the primary fundraisers for Opportunity Village, attending directly supports people with disabilities in Southern Nevada. So during the 2025 season, Halloween, it's open October 20th through November 2nd from 5:30 to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 5:30 to 9:30 Friday and Saturday. It's conveniently located right there on Oakey Boulevard near Torrey Pines. Tickets for Halloween can be purchased online at www.halloveen.org. The cost is only $25, and you can stay updated with the nightly hauntings by following the event's social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram at Magical Forest OV. So grab your tickets now, halloveen.org. The Water Lantern Festival is coming back to Las Vegas on Saturday, November 1st at Sunset Park. It'll be an unforgettable evening filled with community, connection, and thousands of lanterns lighting up the water. It's a family-friendly festival that has something for everyone. Food trucks, live music, and activities to enjoy before the lantern launch. Gates open at 3 p.m., the festival runs until 7, and the breathtaking lantern launch begins at 6 p.m. You should head on over to their website and check out some photos from prior events. They really are stunning. And each ticket comes with your very own lantern kit and marker so you can create a personal design, whether it's a message of hope, love, or remembrance, and then watch it float across the water alongside thousands of others. So don't wait. This event often sells out. Get your tickets now at waterlanternfestival.com. That's waterlanternfestival.com. Now, I know this sounds a little bit like a commercial. We're not getting paid to talk about it. It's just one of those great amenities that exists as part of Las Vegas. And so I'm going to, push a little bit here. And look, I know if you're a baller, you could have a day upon days up at Lee Canyon. But what would be the cheapest way for someone to enjoy the amenities that Lee Canyon offers, and then maybe follow that up with what you think the average budget is? So first, tell me how you could do it on the cheap, and then tell me what you think the average budget should be.
Yeah, we really believe in access. So we actually have some of the cheapest lift tickets in the whole entire ski industry, which is cool. And the way that works to really take advantage of that is to buy in advance. So the earlier you buy, the cheaper it is. Mm-hmm. Those prices basically go up, like a walk-up ticket, for example, is always going to be more expensive than someone who buys it a week early.
Got it. And then, so what is the average budget of somebody just having a good old day, just generally speaking? What's the range?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you some specifics.
Yeah, you could pop up on a weekday and get a lift ticket for under $20 for most weeks of the season. So again, buying it day of or day before, you might be looking at a higher rate. But if you've got next Wednesday free and you want to go up, get that ticket early. It's going to be way cheap, and We also give out a $10 resort credit. So you can get a free beer or something from the gift shop.
Yeah. I mean, you got the gift shop, there's some restaurants up there. Can people
Yeah.
smuggle in their own food? Is that discouraged, or is it okay for people to bring up their own picnicky lunch?
I always have snacks with me at all times.
Right.
We just don't allow outside alcohol or a big Yeti cooler. If you're bringing some snacks or food, that's totally cool.
All right. So let's get into the Super Insider perfect day. I want you, Johnny, to walk me through with as specific detail as you can the perfect winter day for, first off, a person who just wants to be in the cooler climate but isn't interested in, skiing.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, we're here in Vegas and we've got, all kinds of people with all kinds of interests. And Lee Canyon's a great place, even if you don't like to ski, to get up there. So I think a perfect day, let's say we have a fresh snowfall, get up there, have your chains, your 4-wheel drive, pop up early in the morning and watch as the sunrise takes over, hit our coffee shop, go get a nice latte or hot chocolate. For those coming a little later in the day, maybe they like to check out some music in the bar or have a cocktail. I would point somebody to the Bristlecone bar and personally maybe get a hot toddy or a little loose hot chocolate or something.
Yeah. Now, the Bristlecone bar, that's pretty notorious down here. Tell me why it's one of those things that people know the name of, but maybe don't know too much about.
Well, I like to refer to it as the best bar in the lower 48, but that's my personal preference.
You might be a little biased there.
A little biased, yeah. But it's just beautiful. It's slopeside. You get crazy views of all the peaks, and it's a great little show. You get to watch all the skiers come down the mountain with their full glass wall. And it's really just a beautiful place to spend your day.
Yeah. It stays pretty warm inside there.
Yeah. In the winter time, it's transitioned to more of your ski lodge. So the heaters are on and it's a comfortable place to be. But we have a big deck outside if you want to transition to a little bit of the cold temperature.
Got it. Now, all right, let's switch to the beginning skier, somebody who's like interested, but maybe not super skillful at it. How could they have the best day over at Lee Canyon?
Pretty easy at Lee Canyon. Let's say they got their lift ticket and their rental reserved. If they're a first timer, they get sort of a free lesson, like a little experience with a qualified instructor. And that's where they can learn some of the basics and the pointers and how to put on your boots, how to put on your skis, everything from A to Z. And that will at least set you up to kind of know what you're doing on your own. So that's a perfect way to get going.
And is there something called a bunny hill? I remember that when I was a kid. You'd kind of,
yes.
I would always shoot over there because I'm a little scaredy cat. So scaredy cat on the bunny hill. You got one of those?
Yeah, Lee Canyon is really the perfect place for kids or even adults who've never skied and just want to learn. We've got terrain for every flavor. So if you're day one brand new, we've got some really good beginner terrain. And I even learned how to ski at Lee Canyon when I was a young kid. So it's a good place to be.
Now, let's switch gears to the person who loves to ski or snowboard. Tell me their perfect day on Lee Canyon.
Well, we see it every morning. We get the parking lot loaded up with the diehard regulars, and that alone is a scene in itself. It's kind of a little pre-meeting in the morning where everyone gets together in the parking lot and catches up before the day. And when the lifts open at 9 o'clock, these folks are in line and just ready to go. And just riding all day long.
Are there any like super challenging routes up there?
We've got a little diversity. Lee Canyon has it all. We've got really fun trails, fun tree runs. Park riding and skiing is super popular here too. So that means
what's
little like rails, jumps, more man-made obstacles and features. So that's a super popular discipline up here. And we even have expensive backcountry terrain that is out of the resort boundary. So for somebody who's a little more advanced and has the equipment to go in the backcountry, as well as the training, that's also on the table.
Oh, really? It's not off limits. You can, within reason, kind of explore out?
Absolutely. As long as the ski patrol deems it to be open, people can access that from the resort. But that's a little different level than, say, your first timer.
Yeah. And I guess that's important to note that there is ski patrol in effect, and they're basically the mountain cops, but maybe a little more friendly.
I call them the mountain EMTs over the mountain cops. They're pretty friendly at Lee Canyon. So if something were to happen, they've got your back. They'll help you out.
Or correct you before you make the mistake, maybe, or try at least.
Ideally. Luckily, the community there is the strongest part to me.
Yeah.
Everybody's super inclusive and welcoming and willing to share tips and lessons along the way. So that's the reason that I came back to Lee Canyon. The people there just completely make it a warm environment.
Very sweet. So, I know that you are an avid snowboarder and that you have worked in mountain towns around the West. Growing up here in Las Vegas, a lot of enthusiasts enjoy regional resorts like Mammoth and Big Bear and Brian Head. So what's your pitch to those folks to try out Lee Canyon? Tell me some of the differences.
Yeah, that's a great question, David. None is better than another, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Each resort in each mountain town and each environment just offers a different experience. And I think the true skier and snowboarder loves all of those experiences. The thing that gets me for Lee Canyon, it's got that mom and pop feel. I love Mammoth. I love the big resorts. But when you go there, you're kind of an ant, just another number. And as fun as it is, it's super cool to be a part of this little scene where you know everybody. You get to see your friends all throughout the day. And it's such a tight-knit feel. So that the mom and pop ski resort is one of those things that's so attractive.
And I understand also that places like Brian Head and other resorts sort of share a system with you with some kind of season pass. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so Lee Canyon is now part of Mountain Capital Partners, and that management company also operates Brian Head, as well as Arizona Snowball, Purgatory, and a few other resorts in the Southwest. So, for those who buy the season pass at Lee Canyon, they also have access to these other resorts too. So it's nice to have your local hill for immediate access, for daily practice, for close proximity, but super fun to get a few trips throughout the winter and check out the other resorts as well.
Yeah. That's how I feel about our national park pass. You don't know if you're going to use it, but it's really nice to have it in addition to being able to go to, the local ones that are here as well. I guess final question for you, Johnny. Will there ever come a time when I know you said you're pet friendly. I want to see a dog on a snowboard. Is that possible?
We're working
Can that
on
possibly
it,
happen?
My boss and I always talk about how we can get a pet day.
Yeah.
And have just like an hour before we open to the public where you can bring your dog up and do laps with your dog. So
I'd love to see that. All right. So let this be a call to action for our listeners. If you want your dog or just to sit in that warm lounge and watch dogs flying by on skis, give Lee Canyon a call, or at least when you go up and visit, let them know that you're in favor of it, right?
Just find me. Come talk to me. I'm there almost every day.
Look for Johnny.
Love to see you.
Clearly will be the most chill guy up on Lee Canyon. Hey, Johnny, I really appreciate you coming down and sharing your knowledge of Lee Canyon, a place you obviously love. And thanks for joining us on CityCast Las Vegas.
Thank you for having me, David. It's been a pleasure.
And that's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, go tell a friend. You can also rate our show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. And don't forget, you could support this show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Till then, stay lucky.